Yeah.
How we looking, Mo? We ready to go. Well, further, I know the congratulations are in order, but I gotta officially congratulate you
Thank
on becoming the new head girls coach here at PC West High School.
Appreciate
so I can remember when I first became a head coach. Is this your first gig as a head coach?
This is my first gig as a high school head coach.
High school head coach.
Yeah,
all right. When you first got instated, right?
Okay.
You knew that it was real.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy. How excited were you?
Excited. I was more so anxious to get started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
know exactly what you mean.
the excitement comes when I'm in the gym working. So
Right.
I was just anxious to get started,
Mm-hmm.
to get the girls going. And so, luckily it was like the summertime, so we just rolled right into like workouts after school, or during school. So it was pretty cool.
It was easy. And you've been over here for a few years, right?
This will be my 4th year. I believe I started when we were state runners up, when we lost to Owasso back in 2018, I believe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, that seemed like a pretty smooth and seamless transition, seeing as you already got a rapport built with the girls, and from an institutional standpoint, you know everybody here. So is it just as simple as I'm moving one seat over?
To me, yes. To everybody else, maybe not. Just the grind is going to be the same for me. It doesn't change because I'm the head coach.
Right.
From being an assistant to a head, nothing changes for me except the name.
Right.
But my grind doesn't change at all. So we still got to do what's right. Fundamentally, we still got to get in the weight room. We still got to condition. So none of that changes. It's just the title. So titles don't change me, though. At least in my opinion, titles don't change me. I can't speak for everybody else.
For sure. Now, we're at the latter part of June right now, which is technically the end of school ball month for the summer. What does the summer look like for you, for your program, as far as team camps and summer leagues and things of that nature?
Okay, so we did Mustang Summer League at the beginning of June, and then we did El Reno Summer League. Well, it wasn't really a summer league, but summer, it's like one day. It was a one-day game. But my younger girls played. It wasn't the varsity. But the varsity also did the OU camp. It was a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much done with summer basketball for high school. So now they're rolling into the AAU season, which is the live period come July.
And Fred, you got a pretty good amount of girls that'll be active during this live period?
Let's see. Out of the 6 or 7 I have right now, all 7 of them will be active in July.
That's key, man. That's super key, because my philosophy is the better players at this sport, whether it's boys or girls, they play year round.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You can't just flip the switch on for 6 months and flip it off for 6 months.
That's
man.
right.
But, okay, so you also do double duty. You just got to telling me off camera how you coaching AAU ball, and now you coaching high school ball, which you've been doing for a few years. And you talked about, changing hats from coach to dad. Man, tell me about that balance, dog. You just told me a while ago, but for the listeners, how does that break down? You got a daughter that's headed to 8th grade, right?
Correct.
And you used to be bad cop. And then you realized it and took your foot off the gas and said, let me just be dad. And how's that working out, man? Walk me through that.
I think I found the balance where it was a tough game. I was really hard on her. And we still won the game, but I was just over the top, like on her, not focused on anybody else. So to me, it's like, you got to take your focus off your baby and focus on all of your players. And so once I was able to do that, I kind of stepped back and said, for her to enjoy the game, to love the game like I did, I can't force her into anything. You know what I mean? So if I can't be just a little bit of motivation to you and then you take the rest, then I'm going to step back. So I was able to balance being dad and coach by not saying as much as I used to say.
Right.
Showing by actions, teaching, and then once the game is over, I'm just dad.
Yeah.
So the coach hat off, I'm dad now. We won't even talk, sometimes we won't even talk about games, because I just want to be your dad now. The game is over, the intensity is over. Let me go back to just being, hey, father, daughter.
Being able to compartmentalize, as they say. Have you noticed her sort of seeking out some advice from you now that you've stepped back? Does she ever bring it up even though you didn't want to talk ball?
I tried to say, hey, Danae, I'm no longer going to be your coach.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and said, nah, that's not going to work. So then I knew, okay, she's okay with me being a coach. I can be a little tough on her, but at the same time, I can kind of find balance in, hey, you need to learn the game. Like, you got to actually watch basketball to learn basketball. So I get so frustrated when I'm sitting watching the NBA games, and I say, Danae, you need to be watching basketball to learn basketball.
Right.
Well, I got it on. I know you got the TV on.
Yeah.
But are you watching the game? Like, that's how I learn. I watch, then I go do.
It's background noise
Yeah.
to them a lot of times.
Yeah. So to understand the game, you got to watch the game. You got to play the game, understand the game. You got to work at it. So I'm doing the best I can
Yeah.
at this point to try to maintain a certain level of balance.
It's a constant thing, huh?
Constant battle all the time.
Trying to figure it out. And tell me about your athletic background. Like, when did you first start playing sports? From the beginning?
From the beginning?
Yeah, from the Sandlot days.
Man, you could take me long ways back. So, okay. So I started playing ball at the YMCA when I was probably about 6 or 7.
Okay.
I started at the YMCA.
About like first grade?
I kind of just vividly remember playing at it's the Edmond YMCA. I think it's it's the Rankin YMCA now, because they did all of the name changes, because I used to work for the YMCA.
That's the term I recognize, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rankin.
So I started with basketball. I tried out baseball. I didn't like it because the ball went flying past my head, and I said, well, I'm not going to get knocked out by baseball.
That's
so
right.
I quit baseball. So, and basketball has just been my passion and my love for, as long as I can remember, because we used to be at Pleasant Hill playing on the blacktop.
Yeah.
Back when, kids can go out safely and play basketball without all these injuries. We played on the blacktop. Nobody got hurt. So, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy to think of. We went through that to now. It's like, oh no, that's a definite no.
Yeah.
I used to love hooking it up outside, man.
Right.
Now I'm paying for it now. These wheels let me know.
That's true. That's true.
So, man, did you always love it?
I didn't always love it. I played because most of my friends played, and you want to hang out with your friends.
For sure.
Y'all get to travel a little bit. Maybe not out of what we're doing right now, but Texas or Kansas or Arkansas, maybe those places. And so I didn't love it then, but I love it now because of what it's done for my life. You know what I mean? So now I can go back and teach some of these lessons that I've learned when I first started and help these kids with the knowledge of the game and the fundamentals of the game, and help them try to elevate where they want to go based on this vehicle, because basketball is just a vehicle to take you to wherever you want to go. And I've been to several countries. I've been all around the state. So in Oklahoma, I've been out of the state. So basketball has taken me a lot of places, and that's why I love the game now, because of what it's done for me, and have respect for the game, and it'll take you to different places.
That's real. I was telling that to somebody not too long ago. Like, man, I got to visit a bunch of different places that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise gone to if I didn't have a jersey and some shorts and some shoes.
That's right.
Now me, I was a late bloomer though. I jumped off the porch late in terms of being any good. You know what I mean? But did you take off early?
No.
No? Okay.
I didn't take off early. I was like a knucklehead coming up because my coach was Coach Warrior. So that's Marcus Warrior's dad. So he was my coach. And I was like a renegade, because I would get frustrated because I'm missing jump shots or I can't handle the ball correctly. So I was like a real renegade when I was coming up. So my skill set, I didn't have a skill set really. I was always, I don't call it the runt, but I was always the one that didn't really want to get picked, you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
Because standoffish, not having confidence in myself, and that's a big part of it, is because when you're young, if you give a kid confidence, they'll take off with
they
it.
will do a lot of things that they didn't even know they could do.
Correct. But if you kill it, then they're gonna lose the love for it. They're gonna try to find something else to do. And I didn't have anybody to train me. So basically, I just tried to figure out the game on my own.
Right.
I have older brothers, we would play in the backyard. I would have to try to go in for a layup. They would slap So I figured out how to shoot.
There you go.
So when I figured out how to shoot, it was a wrap.
It was over with, baby.
It was over with.
I ain't got to come in there.
Yeah, so now I can handle the basketball. You can't stay in front of me. I can shoot now. Oh, now what you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you sort of developed your own confidence.
Correct.
Man, can you remember an age or a grade where you felt as though you arrived as a pretty good player?
It wasn't until I was at junior college. And I
Really?
Seriously, it wasn't until I was in junior college when I was a sophomore and a referee told me, man, you know what? From high school to now, you have really taken your game to another level. Like, you have elevated your game. Because I don't really listen to a whole lot of, hey, you really good, you do this and do that. Because I just keep my head down and work, and I let the work speak for itself. But when that ref said that to me, it made me go, wow, like, I didn't notice it, but from high school to junior college, my game has grown. So from then on, so all somebody has to say a one word to you, and your confidence, it'll just blow up. You know what I mean? So
and it also lets me know that whoever that official was had been somebody that's been grown with you since little league or whatever, all the way up and through that.
Yeah. So he was like a high school official, and now he's a college official, and he saw me playing high school, and he was like, "You went to Midwest City, didn't I?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, from Midwest City to now, I can't remember who it was. I could just remember what he said."
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That sticks with you when people speak words of encouragement to you. It allows you just to start building on stuff, man. And it's incredible.
It's a trip, man. Like they can't do nothing that they don't believe in. That's my little creed that I try to say to my guys whenever they start to look like they're second guessing.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But through your playing years, how was middle school for you, man? How was middle school ball for you? And where'd you go to school at?
I went to Maroney Junior High.
Yeah,
so
man.
T-Birds.
Oh yeah, you out there Midwest City.
Man. Yeah, we had, well, it's junior high.
Yeah.
They call it middle school now. It was junior high back when I was in.
Junior high sounds cooler though.
It does.
It got high in there.
Yeah, junior high school. So
Right.
you're a freshman, 7th through 9th, you're a freshman. So you
like
big
it.
time. So anyway.
I feel that.
But middle school, junior high, middle school ball. I did basketball. I did track.
Yeah.
I tried to do football, but my mom wouldn't let me. Because she didn't want me to get hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can get hurt playing basketball and run track. Actually, I got hurt doing track because, anyway, that's a long story.
Were you thinking that, or did you say that to her? Like, Mom, I can get hurt out here too.
I wouldn't say that to her because,
something might happen to you.
Yeah.
I feel it. Now, I always think that when you're in middle school and you're one of the most athletic kids, you can get by as being superior, just on nothing but talent and athleticism.
Right.
Was that true for you? You know what I mean? Well, maybe not in basketball, but in track.
In track, I've always had to work for everything.
Always.
I haven't been the natural athlete, the most skilled athlete.
Same.
I wasn't my kids, like my son. He's a natural athlete. Like he literally can just go out there and just play football, basketball, soccer, whatever he wants to do. Me and my daughter, like we had to work and build. So people think, oh, how's she so good? Because she's been in the gym countless hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know how it feels, for somebody to not believe in you and kind of leave you on the side because you don't have that athletic potential right now. But eventually it's going to grow and come out.
That's right.
So, that's why I'm the way I am.
Right.
Because I've always worked for everything. You know what I mean? Like I don't ask for handouts. I want to earn respect. Even if you don't respect me, that's fine, but you're going to respect the way I work because, I want to take this game to another level for the kids so they can experience the things that, I don't want them to experience what I did, but I want them to have their own journey.
That's right.
To have their own experiences through this vehicle. And it may not even be basketball. It could be football, baseball, whatever the case may be. I'm a basketball coach, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And I think team sports is the absolute greatest, man, because of that. It's like you're going to learn how to fail. You're going to learn what it feels like to pick yourself up off the canvas and reroute until you figure it out. Cooperation with people that may not be your favorites and working for somebody, as in your coach, that may not be your favorite, but you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out, man. Ain't nobody going to have no sympathy. No. But anyway, you said earlier you went to Midwest City High School.
I did.
All right. Tell me about the Midwest City High School experience because I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
I would imagine we relatively close in age.
37.
See, we in the
About to be 38.
same decade, baby. But in my recollection, Midwest City has always been one of those powerhouse programs, man. So that means it must have been true even in your time. How was your high school experience over there?
Great. 2-time state champ.
Yeah.
I was able to be a part of those teams, and we were nationally ranked in the top 5. It says it's on our rings that we have.
Yeah.
We had a team full of athletes, and we all most of us came from Forest Park, so Sheldon Williams, Kentrell Gaddis, and then Marcus Steele came over from Dale City, D'Angelo, Matt Kemp, Darnell Stevenson. We had so many athletes on the team. We literally had 2 starting 5s, on the same bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
depth was real.
It was. And so I would say from when they first won their first state championship, I think, Coach Evans was there. It may have been like 98. I'm pretty sure it was 98. And then from 98 till about 2009 was when Coach Dindy, who was my coach.
There you go.
And also Terry Evans was my coach, but the powerhouse for that long. But then kind of dropped off when, I don't want
Yeah. I know what you mean, but
it kind of
peaks
dropped
and
off.
valleys. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Midway City doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't have been a drop off. It should have just been continued success.
Right.
Because of the kids you got coming in.
Your same caliber athletes coming through, right? Hey. That's a good segue, Coach, and I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
How much does it matter who the messenger is? You see what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because listen, you got talent, but if they won't give it all to you, it matters not. You know what I mean? So how important is that, the messenger, as opposed to the message itself?
I had a chance to kind of just watch basketball this week because it's dead period, and
Right.
so it matters who the messenger is. It really does, because sometimes kids will turn you on mute if they don't respect what you're saying, or it doesn't make sense. It has to make sense to them.
Right.
They have to believe in what you're saying. You have to show them exactly what you need them to do when you need them to do it, and then once they learn that, they start building that confidence. So having the right person to deliver that message is key, because you could have 10 Division I athletes on your team, but if you got a coach who is maybe playing favoritism or allowing this person to get away with murder and then looking a blind out it, you're going to break apart.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So the person that's delivering the message has to be fair across the board, has to have love for each individual player as a whole, just not as a basketball player, football player, whatever the case may be, but you got to care for them outside of basketball like you do in basketball. So having the right person in place is key, in my opinion.
Right.
So that way, when you do get those top tier athletes, you can relate to them. So that way, they'll take their talents and their gifts and they'll display them out there for you, because they believe in you, they respect you, and they'll go out and work for you.
Yeah, and that phrase, they'll run through a wall for you. It takes a
Brick
minute.
wall.
It takes a minute to get to that point, though. But I think there's a difference in being fair versus being consistent.
Okay.
And what I mean is, it's hard to treat everybody the same way because everybody ain't the same. Like you may have thicker skin than him, so I may have to talk to him in this tone right here, and I may be able to get up in you.
Yeah.
Some people may look at that as partiality, but I'm like, no, I know what fuels him.
That's
I know
true.
what fuels him.
Yeah.
Like have you ever run into some of those personnel types of challenges?
Yeah, being a girls coach, like of younger girls,
Right.
you got so many different personalities. So you figure out real quick who you can jump on
Yeah.
and who you have to kind of pat on the back a little bit. But at the same time, I can talk to a whole set of girls. Like I have both my teams out here. I can talk to a whole set in the same manner, and each of them take it a different way. Does that make sense?
It does.
So Coach Carlos used to say, if I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. So if I'm addressing everybody and I'm giving direction in a certain tone, they'll take it a different way, but I'm not singling you out. So if I'm talking to the group, that way even though so-and-so messed up in the corner,
And everybody saw it.
yeah, so I don't say you messed up, I speak to the whole team.
Right.
So that way nobody feels the type of way. Now in the game, I'm going to drag you over to the side. Not drag you, but you know what I mean. I'm going to summons you over to the side.
Right.
And I'm going to whisper in your ear versus me, because I used to do that. Like a player would mess up, and I would just jump on them from the sideline. Like, I mean, people are watching. So
That's
how
right.
would I feel if somebody come jump on me? I would not
Yeah.
take that well at all.
Nah.
So I'm just continuously learning how to present what I need in the game or in practice, just by my tone or just by my actions, or sometimes I just sit and stare. That'll work.
And they get it.
It works.
Ain't it amazing
It
how
works.
you can feel when somebody's looking at you?
Yeah.
Even as a grown up, like, oh yeah, all right, I feel it. I
Yeah.
feel it. But tone versus the message. And where I'm coming from with that is, like, obviously I've seen your girls play. Y'all get after it, you get up and down, high octane, up tempo, all of that. But I think to some degree as coaches, we got to give them the display of energy that we want them to play with. So
Yeah.
sometimes my tone is high because it's loud in here.
Right.
And I need you to hear me.
Correct.
Or it's that urgent what I'm trying to get you to do. To that you would say what? Would you have to tone it down some, or you turn it up?
No, I'm going to turn it up.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, no, I'm going to turn it all the way up. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to match my level of intensity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm giving you all of my energy and you know it's not coming from a bad place, like I'm trying to get us somewhere,
Right.
then you got to respond the right way. I'm not like trying to belittle you. This is an intense game. We gotta
get this win.
So either you can take it or you can't. But if I can't rely on you, that's okay. I'm gonna find somebody who I can rely on, and they gonna take my message the right way and go give me what I need.
You said something a couple moments ago in terms of letting your players know exactly what you need from them, showing it to them, right along with telling it to them. And I think that's interesting because I think you and I both come from an era where we did what we were told.
Right.
And if you got to questioning too much or at all, something was gonna happen to you.
Right.
So have you figured out how to determine when a player legitimately is looking for some information when they say why, or as opposed to them just being an ass? You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I like to watch and observe a lot. So, if I have a certain player that I know is one of those an ass, then and they say, well, why I got to do this? So it's also by the way you say it. So if you present it that way to me, I go, oh, so you trying to show up for your friends? Okay,
right.
I'm gonna give you something. So I just observe. So when I do my observations and I watch, and somebody has a genuine question, like I literally show them like moves. I love to get out here and show them moves, the stuff that works in the game. But if it doesn't make sense to them, that's when they question you.
Got you.
If it doesn't make sense, like how does this translate to the game?
Right.
So you got to make sure whenever you're teaching, like, here's how this translates to the game. So that way they won't ever question you. Even if they do question you, it's like, well, I kind of know more than you do. Like, you're still the player, I'm the coach. Not saying that, I'm better than you, but maybe I've just been doing this a little bit longer. So here's why.
I ain't saying that you know nothing, but I know more.
That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? I've had to come around on it. I'm glad you said that, because it's like the first time, I tell people this all the time, the first time I heard a kid say, why? And he wasn't even demonstrative about it. It was just the fact that I remembered I couldn't do that. But I had to put my ego aside, like, okay, let me show you why this is necessary. Right. And that was the last instance that we had like that, because he literally was trying to figure out why. I'm like, okay, well then I guess that's one of the old school things we got to leave there.
Yeah.
We got to evolve. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Now, you've coached both girls and boys, right?
Yes.
What are the differences between those two experiences?
Man, boys are like, they think they know it. This is my opinion, people. They think they already know it.
That's
so
right.
I started coaching like the Spurs. It was like an AU team, boys team. And I would teach them plays, and they would get in the game and do the complete opposite of what we learned. Like, this is what's actually going to work in the game, but you're going to do the opposite because you think you already know, or the parents is in the stands, shoot the ball, and they shooting the ball, not a good shot, don't know how to really play defense. So the difference between boys and girls, in my opinion, is girls listen, they respond, and they're going to do what you ask them to do. Boys, they may listen, they hear you, may not listen. And then you could tell by when they go in and do something off the wall, and then you're looking at them like,
they just went rogue.
Yeah. So I enjoy coaching girls more than I like coaching boys. Not saying I won't ever coach boys again.
Right.
The girls to me brings joy.
Yeah. That's a great description. I started my career coaching girls, and at that time, even a few years after I was done coaching girls, if somebody would have asked me that question, which one I preferred more, it would have been girls for that reason. It's like it's easier to love them for some reason.
Ah, man.
You know what I mean? They just bring a different type of joy out of you.
Yeah.
And I also learned is that, like, and maybe this was just the batch of girls I had at the time, but they would follow instruction to a fault almost, to where they turn their instincts off. And like, coach, you said shoot it. Well, yeah, that was last possession when you were wide open. This one here, her hand was right here. You know what I mean? And the boys, they'll go improv quick. I got it, coach. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. Man. But all right, so we left your high school chapter. I'm gonna bounce around,
okay,
but it's all good though. But from one state champ to another,
yes, sir.
I'm gonna toot my own horn. Man, what was that experience like? Meaning, did y'all know from game one, we got a chance to do this thing? Or was it a slow build? Like, as the season went on, y'all started picking up traction, and it's like, fellas, we could actually go get this thing.
The first state championship or the second?
Ooh, another floss. Okay. Let's start with the first.
I was asking which one. The first one?
Let's start with the first one.
Oh, man, the first one. Well, I'm gonna just set the tone. So 1999, we lost to Ed Memorial
Shouldn't have happened. That's
Shouldn't
what
have
it
happened.
looked like, right?
And I'm a referee.
Yeah.
Referees got us. That's all I'm gonna say. 2000 came back with a vengeance. I mean, just pretty much just ran through the state. I mean, it was like already written, like, oh, these boys is gonna win state. So I mean, that happened. And 2001 came, you nationally ranked. I mean, Putnam City had a good squad. You know, that's who we played in the
finals.
Yeah, in the finals. So, I mean, it was a back and forth thing, but I think we already had the confidence that we could win it, just based on our body of work, and then also our coaches too. You know, they instilled a lot of confidence in us too, a lot of grit. You know what I mean? We were kind of a in your face, up under your team. Like
Ain't
now,
scared of nothing.
like up under you. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to cross half court type deal. You know what I mean? So I think in the high school days, if they can turn back the hands of time and allow us to play like we did then now, oh man, it'll be a lot of trouble for people.
Yeah,
it would.
Do you think that kids from that fabric are still out there?
They coach us now. They coach us. So I've seen a couple kids though that have that fire. Right. I've seen a couple of them. It's not a lot, but there are some kids out there. It's just, I don't know, man. It's touch and go. You know what I mean? Because kids don't live in the gym like we did. Like we would literally go play basketball all day or be at the gym at Midwest City all day, just playing pickup, working on our game. But kids, you gotta like fight them to come here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, not my girls.
Right.
You don't have to fight them, but yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna act like it was all a blessing, because y'all been putting in work with these girls for the longest time.
Right.
So you created those habits, man, and an environment for those talents to grow. But you said something I didn't expect you to say a while ago. You said that in your time, y'all were in the gym all day, not just hooping, but actually working on your game. Y'all didn't have to be pushed to do that? Y'all actually said, yo, we're going to work, not just hoop?
Right.
That's how that went?
Yeah. So, I mean, and just friend to friend, like, hey, we're going to the gym. We're going to go hoop at the gym. And then, you know, we'll get in and just work on mid-range jump shots, ball handling, just small stuff that'll help you in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you just come to the gym and just come put shots up, that's cool to just put shots up. But are you working at game speed?
Probably not.
Are you...
Without a partner and without a shooting machine?
Right. I was in the gym working. Were you? You were in the gym? Or were you really working? Like, what specifically did you work on in the gym?
How much better did you get, actually?
That's my question all the time.
Man, that second title run, though. Okay, when you do it once, I ain't gonna say y'all snuck up on nobody, because y'all actually redeemed yourself from the previous year, right?
Correct.
On that first one. So when it's time for the second one, it's a little bit different when you ain't gonna get nobody's bad game. You coming through everybody's front door,
right?
You know, so you can't really afford to play a bad game. Did y'all feel any maybe pressure's not the word, but I'm gonna use that word? Any pressure to do it again? Because like, yo, we're expected to do it. How was that? Or did y'all just wear that and say, hey, let's be the dogs, we're gonna get another one?
Well, in high school, to be honest with you, I was maybe the 8th or 9th option. You know, people think all the time, oh, did you start in high school? Nope.
No.
I played a few minutes here, a few minutes there. If you watch the title game that I have a recording of, I played, I think, the first 2 quarters. And then I didn't play the third and fourth. But I was still a good teammate. I didn't sulk. I didn't, why am I not? It's about the team. So that's why I try to teach people now, the girls now, listen, even if you're not playing right now, be a good teammate. Cheer your teammates on, because you're still part of the team. Like, you can still help us win, but in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I try to, you know, instill a work ethic in people. You know, if you get 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever the case may be, just be a good teammate. And then when your time comes, be impactful. Make me not have to take you back off the floor when you get in.
Make it a hard decision. Like, dang, she tired, but man, she rolling right now.
Like, or I'm gonna give you a quick breather. Yeah. And I'm gonna put you right back in there.
That's what you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that right there, because it's like, I don't know, it seems as though we're in a climate now where people are against paying dues. You know, you got to put your time in and give yourself a chance to reap the benefit,
right? As
opposed to picking up and moving. But when you start over, you start from scratch, in my mind.
Right.
Unless you're one of those big time players where you can have your pick of the litter. But you know, those come and go, few and far between. Now you go to college, and you said you went to JUCO, right?
I did. Rose State
Raiders.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And see, I was a junior college junior college product myself. I went to Murray.
Okay.
And it was a different type of grind, man.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? How was that junior college experience for you?
Man, I think it was probably one of the best experiences that I've had basketball-wise going to college. So if I would have went to a 4-year school, I probably would have been overwhelmed. Big campus, all of these students, where the junior college, small setting, smaller campus.
Right.
You can get your basic classes out of the way. You know, I can do my studies and I can do my workouts, you know, without having to stress. I didn't have to work because my parents would support me, so that's a good thing.
That's a cheat code.
Yeah.
Cheat code.
You gotta have some support, right?
Need it.
Gotta have some support. So I think, man, junior college was a blessing because, one, it instilled another type of work ethic. Because from high school to junior college, I actually went to Rose State when I was in high school to work out with the college players after our practice.
Oh, yeah.
So
even during the season?
Even during the season.
Ooh.
I would go from our practice to Rose State's practice, and I would go lift weights, and then I would play pickup with them. You know, just because if you want to be a college player, surround yourself with college players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not saying everybody's going to be that, but I was able to go work out with them because Calvin Pierce, I don't know if you know Calvin Pierce.
I know the name, and I can't say I know him.
He went to OU, and then he was a coach at Rose State. And so he allowed me to come work out at Rose State after practice. So I was allowed to go in there and lift weights, and then just instilled in me that work ethic. I mean, so now it's like natural to me to come in and just work. It's not, I mean, there's nothing hard about it. Just
It's a simple recipe.
there's nothing hard about it.
Well, was that your idea, or did he seek you out and say, "Hey, young fella, I would like for you to come on and start practicing"? With
Yeah,
us"?
he did. He came over from, because he used to be like a recruiter. He was a counselor at Rose State, so he was over at our Votech, I think, meeting with the counselors, probably trying to give out pamphlets, and then he saw me. I came down off a break from masonry, and then he invited me. Said, "Hey, why don't you come over to Rose State? You know, I coach over Rose State, and you know, you look like a ball player." I was like, "Yeah, I play basketball in Midwest City." So he invited me over there. Went over there, just started working out, and then from then on, man, it just blossomed. Yeah, it just blossomed. It just grew.
Were you able to hold your own with those guys pretty early on?
I tried my best. Now, you know, they had like 6'7", 6'6", Big O is what they used to call him. I tried to go guard Big O, and I'm like all but 5'11", 6 foot.
There you go.
Trying to, and that's when
Put
you
that
can
on
use
them,
it
that
for.
armbar.
Yeah, you can't use it no more, but
Nah.
back then you could. So
Push them all off the block and
and
everything.
that in turn made me go, now you got to hit the weights.
That's right.
You got to get stronger. And then I became a guard that was just nobody didn't really want to guard because I'm strong. And I'll go in the post on you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you my size, a little taller. I go in the post real quick just because I'm strong.
That's the best. Then I'm pretty sure you were a tough person to deal with on the defensive end too. Like, dang man, he right there with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make this. I love this platform, by the way, too.
And I appreciate you, man. That's why we highlighting you. So go ahead. I see you trying to be modest. You tiptoeing.
No, I'm
Go on
not,
like that.
because people think like I'm arrogant or something.
Oh, do they?
Because I don't know if people think that. I'm assuming people think that I'm arrogant, but I'm not.
Right.
I just know where I come from.
Yeah.
What kind of obstacles I had to overcome.
Right.
And the work and the time that I put in to get to where I am right now. So people think, oh, you got a chip on your shoulder. Nah, it's not a chip. It's a blue-collar work ethic that I'm not going to take lesser than, because I know I can do better if I just put in the work. And I'm going to get out of the work that I put in. So if I put in 100% work, I should get at least 100% result from it.
I like
at
you
least.
said, at least.
At
Yeah.
least. I mean, if I don't get 100%, I'm going to get 80, 85. But you got to put in the work. Then you're going to find out what the result is.
Man, if I could go back to my days in high school and redo one thing and take it more seriously, it'd be the weight room. So I've heard you make mention to weights, you know, throughout your journey. So it sounds like you had that in your mind already. Now, were you lifting on your own, or did you get in the mix and start lifting with the college guys, or was it something that was implemented even at the high school level by your coaches?
Oh yeah, Midwest City, we was in the weight room big time, and you know, then it's like, how much can you lift? So you got to try to keep up with everybody else, because coming from junior high, I couldn't even lift 135. I was scared to get up under that bar with those 245s.
Same here.
It was like, you know what I mean? I was scared to do it, but once I did it, and then I know I could do more, it just.
Couldn't tell you nothing.
Oh my goodness, I love the weights. I love them.
Man, it just makes a difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no substitute for strength and conditioning.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you got that, you can outlast the skill guys or the talent guys.
You giving away secrets.
My bad.
You giving away secrets right now.
Up under the table.
Yeah.
But see, and I'm gonna throw something else at you.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This was my junior college experience. When I got there, I sort of had to unlearn some of the stuff that I had learned about the way I was taught the game, and then sort of adopt a different way. And what I mean is, I was always a team guy. And even when I play pickup now, it's all about us. Whether I get 1 point or 10, if we win, I'm cool with that, whatever my role is.
Yeah.
But when I got to junior college, man, look here. Them cats, boy, one pass maybe, and it's up. Or they maybe no passes. They get it off the backboard defensively. You better run with them and go try to crash the boards, get the scraps. And so I had to figure out what my identity was going to be as a player, because I wasn't used to being selfish like that.
Right.
What was your experience as a player?
Man, so I was a freshman combo guard.
Right.
So they taught team aspect.
Okay,
So
good.
it wasn't like a one person steal the show type deal. I mean, we had a lot of great players on our team, a lot of Oklahoma City players at that. You know, Charles Johnson, we had Terrell, we had Joey, we had Randall from. You remember Randall? Oh man. So we had so many good players, and so it was more so still about the team versus one individual.
Right.
So, you know, I just had the luxury of going to a different junior college than you with the team aspect, you know. So.
Well, listen, I understood over time, like, okay, these guys, maybe they weren't as selfish as I thought they were in the beginning. They just didn't want this to be their last stop.
Oh, gotcha.
You know,
okay.
and a lot of my teammates' careers ended after that second year.
Makes sense now.
You know what I mean? So, did you have a lot of success there, team-wise? How good were y'all?
Let's see. So we went to, and my freshman year I played.
Right.
My second year I redshirted.
Oh, wow.
So the head coach, Tom Mills, Dr. Mills, he didn't like you to call him
Oh, yeah.
Coach Mills
Put
because
that
he was
doctor
a
on
doctor.
I
You know
worked
what
for
I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah, all right.
So, okay. All right, Dr. Mills.
Doc.
So he told me that he was going to redshirt me and that I was only good enough probably to play NAIA Division II division. So I had a coach actually sit across the table, or excuse me, his desk, and tell me I was only good to play this.
He put a cap on you.
Yeah. So you're going to limit me. Okay, that's fine. So my next year I came back. I did well. Second team All-American. I played in the National Junior All-Star game at SNU. And then I got a full ride to Montana State University. So see, now you kind of understand the way I am now?
I do.
Because I have people tell me, a coach tell me,
Right.
you're only good enough to do this.
Somebody who should be giving you confidence.
You're only good enough to do this, so I'm a redshirt you. I'm gonna bring these other guys in and see if we can do something different. Okay. So that's the reason why I am the way I am right now. You know what I mean?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't hear you say that you picked up and left.
Right.
You stuck it out.
I did. Yeah.
Man, listen. Were there any thoughts at all? Like, man, maybe this is not the place for me. If this is the vibe I'm getting between me and my boss.
No, I never. That quitting never comes in my mind.
Right.
I never understood the concept of, okay, I'm not getting a place, so I'm gonna go find somewhere else that's gonna invite me in. Now, and Coach Pierce was a good bridge in that gap because I didn't really have a relationship with Coach Mills, Dr. Mills, and I did with Coach Pierce, and so he was able to say, well, Jay, just keep, get in the gym and work on this, work on that, and, don't give up, keep doing what you're doing. And so I just kept believing. I just kept doing what I was doing, working, lifting, concentrating on my studies in school. So all of that came together, man, and I was blessed to get the full ride.
Man.
And you go from not playing much in high school to having college coaches sit in on your practices, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Arkansas Tech. They come into your practices now. So you got to understand my mindset. I'm 8, 9, maybe in high school.
On the depth chart.
On the depth chart. I get an opportunity as a freshman to play in junior college. I had a coach tell me I wasn't good enough to go Division I. I was only good enough, maybe low D2. And so I come back the next year, have a better year. My numbers rise. I get second team All-American. I get all conference. I play in the National Junior All-Star game. And so now it's like, wow, look where I am now.
Regardless of what you said, Coach.
Of what you said to me. So that's why you got to love on the kids and speak life into them, because you can literally like end a kid's career by what you say to them. Like, but I just took that as motivation and fuel though. But I'm built different than a lot of people. You know what I mean? So that's the way I coach. That's the way I teach. Because somebody tried to end my career with their words, and I didn't let them.
Kept banging on that door until you kicked it in.
All I did was kept building on that house. You know, that's all I did.
And it worked out for you.
Yes, it did.
Tell me about Montana State, man.
Montana State.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
The key word in that is Montana.
Montana.
I ain't ever been up in there, man.
Oklahoma kid going to Montana.
Yeah, man. Walk me through that, those chapters, those last 2 years you played.
Man, Montana State that was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
The head coach, he had been there for maybe 20 plus years. And so we had, I don't know if you know Al Bay. He played at Eastern, long from Senegal, left-handed. But he played up there with me in Montana State. But it was a great experience. If I could go back, I would do some things differently at Montana State. Because when I get to Montana State and I'm on my own now, my work ethic changed.
I got you.
See what I'm saying? So from where I went for high school, junior college, I get up here by myself. I should have kept the same mindset, but you meet different people. You start to pick up social habits.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
You at your own discretion now, and you're away from the crib.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take back. I mean, I love the experience at Montana State.
Yeah.
You know, I love the competition. I played against an NBA player. He went to Eastern Washington, Stuckey. Rodney Stuckey. Man. So, I had to guard Rodney Stuckey. He was killing everybody in our conference. Putting up 30, 40. But he came to the house. Bozeman. He only scored 18. So he didn't kill us.
Yeah, you put some work on him.
And we won the game. So that's
a double win.
That's a win. That's a win. But for him to get drafted was great. And then another kid out of Utah Valley, what was his name? I can't even remember. Ronnie Price.
I do remember
Ronnie Price.
Dang, look at you recalling.
So I played against some great players.
Yeah.
You know, some NBA players that were, you know, college NBA players, and then they got drafted. So, you know, I think I know for the most part what it takes to try to go to the next level, the college level, and then because I played a little bit in Poland.
Yeah.
Or what it takes to get to the professional level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's kind of all about focus. I mean, really, you can't get distracted from a lot of things. So if you just maintain your focus, I think it can take you a lot of places. But my college experience is great because now I have long-lasting friendships with my teammates. You know, I have a family up there. I call them my Montana family.
Yes,
so I have a Montana family up there that I haven't been able to see in a while because of my travel schedule with the girls now.
You got a family too.
Yeah, and then the COVID thing. So I'm hoping, you know, we can eventually go up there so they can see my family now.
Right.
Because they were my family when I was in junior college when I had nobody. So now I can introduce them to my family because I've been in their daughter's wedding, and my daughter's 13 was in their daughter's wedding 13 years ago, basically. 12 years ago, basically. So
full circle, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But since you said you actually got to extend your basketball career beyond college, to me, I hear that at some point you picked that focus back up before you left Montana.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that was and what brought that on? Like, okay, I really got another gear that I could kick this work ethic to. You know what I mean?
It was when I got a call from an agent.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's when I got a call from an agent. He said, we're going to send you over to Poland, and here's a contract thing. So I'm like, dang, I got to get back on my game because I've just been kind of just hanging out, you know, because I was going to go to Taiwan and just play with athletes in action and just go over there, miss a trip, have fun, you know, experience different cultures. But when I got a call from an agent, it just changed my whole perspective. Like, now, like, this is serious. Like, you're going to get paid to play basketball. So now you got to get back to where you were, your focus, like junior college, between high school and junior college, you got to get back there. Because I don't think I reached my full potential in college just because I was hanging out a lot.
Right.
I mean, I was taking care of my business. I just was hanging out a lot.
I feel you. Not going above and beyond the Call of Duty, really.
Yep. There you go.
It be like that. It be like that.
There you go.
Now, I'm always fuzzy, but interested at the same time about the whole process in, becoming a pro, going outside of the country to play. Like, what's the first order of business? I would imagine you got to get some film together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I got to imagine, somebody's got to make contact with an agent. But you told me that the agent called you. Was that the very first act of the whole transaction?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like they usually look for agents will go through like all conference lists, all American lists,
right.
And then they'll just because basically they're working for you. So I mean, you can either hire them or you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have like a whole bunch of agents knocking down my door.
Right.
But the one that I had called me, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So because I had to go to training camp in Ohio with Athletes in Action, and so they called me when I was up there, how things going, and I was like, it's going great, because we had our coach was St. John's coach. He was a bald head black guy. What is his name? Mike Jarvis.
Mike Jarvis. Okay. Yep.
Mike Jarvis.
I now see his face.
Oh man, one of the best head coaches I've had.
Straight
good
up.
mentor. I mean, he had like completely changed his life over. I think he was like either doing ministry or he was preaching or something. But he was a great coach to have. I mean, happy medium between my craziness and the way that I was playing. You know what I mean? He helped me out a lot. He really did. Yep.
That's a beautiful thing. So now you leave the country and you playing. Well, what's the difference? The difference in the play styles, man, between American ball and you say you were in Poland, right?
I went to Poland.
Yeah.
Euroswap. So
okay.
They get excited by reverse layups. I kid you not. Like I literally jumped from one side, left side, and then brought it back to the right. And they were like, oh, I was like,
everybody got out of their seats.
It's a reverse layup. We do this all the time,
Just wait till what I do next.
I think my speed, I mean, to me, I'll anticipate a play just by making a pass where you're supposed to be. They're not anticipating that. They like, well, miss it. I'm like, okay, well, that's the disconnect is they don't know how I play. I don't know how they play. I can't speak their language. I had to have a translator. My trainer was a translator, so the coach would speak Polish. The trainer would have to translate to me, and then I'm standing in the middle of the court. Everybody else is moving around, but I'm like, what is he saying?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
It was rough.
Did you ever get to the point to where you were able to use some of your context clues to know, okay, this is what he may be saying, this is what he may be meaning?
No,
it never got better for you on that?
No.
Ooh. How good were y'all though?
They're supposed to be the top Polish league.
Okay.
So we were like, our team probably was maybe the top 4 or 5.
Okay, out of
about 20 teams.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I mean, how it went? I would work out. I would wake up, eat breakfast,
right,
go to practice, lift weights, leave, go to sleep, eat lunch or semi-dinner, wake up, go back to practice. So that's 3 workouts in one day. These kids think coming up here for 2 hours
ain't gonna cut it. Don't even compare.
for twice a week
is enough to have these lofty expectations.
So practice, weights, sleep, get back up, practice again. Come on, y'all. This is what we doing right here. Not even compared to what
Small fry.
what it takes.
Was that y'all's team regimen or was that your personal?
No, that was the team.
Okay, that's how we
but
had
see,
to do
I'm in a
things.
foreign country, so I got to get up and figure out what's going on. I couldn't watch TV because it was in Polish. I had my laptop. Try to instant message my family. I really couldn't call them.
Right.
So I mean, you got to be really mentally tough to go overseas by yourself.
Actually.
And I was 22.
Ooh,
Yeah.
barely grown.
22.
How long were you there?
I was over there for about 6 months.
6
and
months.
I came back. Yeah.
That was the last of it.
Yeah, because my agent called and said I can go to I think it was the AB, whatever league that's in Tulsa. It was like the ABL. I think it was the ABL.
That's what it was called at the time.
ABL. I said, you know what? I really don't want to drive back and forth anymore. Like I'm done getting on planes.
Yeah.
I said I'm just gonna get a regular job.
Yeah.
I actually told the agent that I'm just get a regular job.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be a grown up.
I did. I really said that. I can't believe I said that, but I did.
No, did another opportunity come and find you after that, or that was it?
That was it. When I told them I was good with traveling, like that was. You got to go find the next athlete now because this athlete says he's done. So I was like, all right.
How soon thereafter did you pick up that whistle, man, and start coaching, dog?
Oh, man. Let's see. Okay, so I started working at the YMCA in 2007.
Hey, that's when I graduated high school, man.
Man, you made me feel old.
Just a couple blocks behind you, man. A couple blocks.
You made me feel. So I started coaching in 2007.
Yeah.
At the Y.
Right.
Like, that's when I started my coaching journey.
Man,
2007.
With the little ones, were they still playing co-ed and everything?
No, it was just the boys team. Because at the Y they got the Spirit League, and then you got the developmental league. So my team really wasn't Spirit League yet.
Right.
We learned the fundamentals. I'm new to the Y, new to coaching.
You green.
So I'm teaching them everything that I've been taught. Like as far as the drills and everything, I didn't have an understanding of the IQ of the game that much, but my kids did pretty good. I mean, we won the Silver League championship or whatever it was. I still got the little frame of all my kids, man. Most of them in college right now. That's how I feel real old. Most of them in college now.
At that age, were they still? And the way I think about it, the younger they are, the more attentive they are, and they're gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever you want, coach. What you need from me?
Yeah.
I'm doing all that. Was it like that for you?
Yeah, the boys were very receptive to my coaching. I mean, to the drills, because it's high energy drills, so it wasn't nothing boring. It was those attack to the right, between legs, go back left. You know what I'm saying? Those drills that's up tempo, so it keeps their attention. You know what I mean? So, they actually started playing like that, and when they started playing like that, they started beating teams pretty good. Yeah.
Look at now. I know you had to be feeling good about yourself, like, man. You know, man, I'm new to this, but I'm true to this.
We winning.
Yeah.
We winning.
And it seemed like they were having fun too, huh?
They were having fun, and I was having fun too. I just didn't know it was going to turn into this back in 2007.
Yeah, man. Were there any breaks in between, or that was year one, and you kept on coaching all the way up until?
So, and I kind of just bounced around. So I coached OKC Heat, and I coached the Spurs. So they were basically the same team. They just changed the name, basically. So those were boys. Those were my boys' years. So I did that. Let's see. I'm 37 now. So I did that from 2007 to about, let's see, those boys. So maybe about 2014. So I did about 7 years. There was no breaks. It was just, I didn't really have a team to coach. So they would go back to school ball, and then I would just go back to training kids. I used to just kind of train kids at the Y too. Because, I heard you coach basketball. Can you train my son or my daughter? Yeah, sure, no problem. So
I love that. But what was the job, the day job of Coach Jefferson? When you said, I'm done playing, I'm going to go to work. What did work look like? You know what I mean?
So I was at the Y for 7.5 years.
7.5 years, all right.
So I started off as a before and after school counselor. So basically you just with the kids from 3 to 6, playing with them outside, giving them snacks. Then I went to the front desk. So I was a member service associate at the front desk. And then I went from the front desk to youth and family director. And I did that for like 2 or 3 years. I went from youth and family director to membership director.
Oh, you climbing the charts, bro.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of bouncing around, at the Y, because I thought I'm in the Y for, since I'm not coaching, I'm just might as well work.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Y working, and I go from membership director, and then the next step is like executive director. So, but at that time, I was like, we building the Mitch Park YMCA. I don't know if you ever been out there, that huge facility. So I'm running 2 facilities, because I'm the membership director. Yeah. I'm over both. So, it just kind of went, whenever you build a new building and more people come and everybody is kind of just pulling against each other, your team can unravel. So I decided to go from the YMCA to the state. So I wanted to go work for the state for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I was a dope protective services specialist. So I'll go out and do interviews in homes for neglect, financial exploitation, things of that nature. I've seen some crazy things in people's homes you wouldn't believe.
Man.
So, but in between the time I was went from the Y to the state, Coach Carlos was here, and I had asked him to come watch one of his practices. So
was that just at random? You're
Yeah,
like, man, I just want to come
really-
check you out, see what you're working with, see what I can learn.
Because I didn't know Coach Burt was out here until I saw him at People's Church, and then he told me he was coaching at West. Like, I didn't know. Lenny had been out here for like 10 years.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? So when I figured out that he was out here, and his daughter was playing YMCA basketball, my daughter was playing YMCA basketball. Coach, why don't we just put them on the team?
Yeah, man, let's link this up. And it just went.
But I begged Coach Carlos basically to work with his girl. I was like, Coach, let me work him out, like in the weight room, because that's when I told you I love the weight. So I said, Coach, let me work the girls out, in the weight room. And then one day I asked him, do you got any positions open? Because I got tired of sitting at a desk.
Right.
I didn't want to go out and do any more home visits with
Yeah.
orders or nothing.
Right.
I didn't want to be a part of that. Had to
You
put
bearer
on.
of bad news too. Like, man, here this
Man,
dude, hey, Jefferson
I
come
didn't
at the
wanna-
door.
I didn't want to call the police, none of that stuff no more.
Right.
So I was able to get on kind of like as a volunteer coach. I got my CDL, and
There you go.
I was able to drive the girls around to the games. And so now I'm a part of it. So he brings me in. And then the next year I was able to get a position in the school because he went to Eastern Michigan. And so
I remember that transition,
yeah.
man.
So when we lost to Owasso, he went to Eastern Michigan, and then Coach Rock took over. So then that opened up a spot in the school for me to be able to come in, be a teacher. So now I'm in the school, and now I get to coach again.
There you go.
So within that time, though, I brought my daughter over to BTR.
Right.
So that's when I wanted to just be the parent. So
Be the
he was
parent.
coaching my daughter. Him and Marcus was coaching my daughter. So I was just being the parent. But then, like I said, the program just blew up. So now you got more kids. You got coaches.
Yeah.
So hey, can you coach?
Come on out of the stands.
Yeah, basically. So then I took over them. So from second grade. So this is now year 6.
God, it goes fast, don't it? Golly.
Yes, year 6.
And you threw a lot at me right there.
I'm
but
sorry.
No, it's good though, because I was going there. But your role in the building, are you the strength and conditioning coach? Is that what I'm looking at?
Well, for football. I was a strength and conditioning coach for football.
Oh, okay. Over here, PC
Was.
West High School. Was, okay. Was, all right.
Because now the head coach, I can't.
That's a
I
lot.
can't be able to do that. So now I do it for the girls, But I'm not we don't have a strength and conditioning coach like maybe some other schools do. But
Right.
this
As
one,
a class.
this one does not.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You got to be innovative.
Right.
What they got you doing over here, man,
Right.
as a teacher? What they got you doing in the building?
Computer applications. So
There you go.
basically, you try to teach the kids how to maybe save a file, how to do Excel, Microsoft. Well, it's Google Docs now because Google Docs is way better than Microsoft Word. I hope nobody sues me for that. Google Sheets. You just kind of try to teach the kids how to use the computer. But
Right.
in my class, I'm teaching them how to budget. I'm teaching them how to
Beautiful.
do their finances because that's some stuff you really need to know when you leave the school. Most of
sooner
the
the
kids don't
better.
know how to budget any of their money.
No, it comes in, it goes out.
It's like it blows their mind.
And it's very interesting because I'm pretty sure y'all have some teenagers here, just like I have back at Central, that have jobs right now and don't really know what they're doing with the income. They just see, oh, I got some money.
Right.
Bet, let's go spend it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's that's another one of those things. If I could go back, I'd put a little more fat on my brain about that right there.
Exactly. Financial literacy.
Yes, sir.
Take
Now,
it.
compare the differences between coaching AAU ball and school ball. You've been at both of them for quite some time now, and you're part of one of the most prominent programs as far as girls go in the state of Oklahoma. With one of the best names too,
Gotcha.
below the rim, BTR. That's solid, man.
That is a pretty good name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. But anyway, I don't know what y'all gonna do when y'all get a girl that's playing above the rim. But anyway,
We got a couple.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we gonna get
We
there.
got a couple.
But what are the differences in your estimation between coaching AAU and coaching high school ball?
Okay, so the difference between the two is in high school ball, coaches have film of you.
Yeah, true.
They know you well. So they study your habits and they try to game plan around some of your best players or whatever the case may be. AAU, nobody knows who you are.
Going in blind.
Going in blind. Well, a lot of people know who you are, but they don't know how to deal with your personnel. So as much as we're a problem for them, they could be a problem for us because we don't know them either. So the difference to me is, and then basically with AAU teams, you can get players from all over. So you can have a whole team of just some dogs.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So
You get your hand
in
picked.
high school, you got to go, well, nah, you think about it, the open transfer, you can go wherever you want. So,
But that's an exception, though, because then these are some different type of times, man.
Yeah, right. So I think just the style of play. But my style is kind of, I keep it the same, but you got to also coach to your personnel. So what my girls can do with BTR, they may not be able to do with PC West. So you got to tweak it a little bit. I may have more athletes over here than I do over there. So you just kind of got to look at it. I mean, I look at it as the same, but it's not.
Right.
It's not the same.
I hear it. Now, how important is having good help? You know what I mean? Because hey, man, listen, I think all leaders, head coaches count as leaders too. Yeah. To some degree, we're sort of control freaks. And I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily. It's just that since it's our name that's on the line, we want it done a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is it important to have good help that you can trust? And has it ever been hard for you to delegate responsibilities?
You said the most important word, good help that you can trust.
Bingo.
I got 2 coaches on my staff that I can trust. And they, on both of my staff, they the same coaches. So,
man.
I don't mess with a lot of people. Like I don't trust a lot of people. I mean, just because you never know who's gonna pull the knife out and say, "Hey, did you know you had that in your bag?" So it's very important. And me delegating responsibilities, I like to do a lot of things myself.
Yeah.
If I can't do it, then I try to give it to somebody else. But I mean, I got some great assistant coaches. I mean, but the weight room I love the weight room.
Yeah,
so
that's your domain, right?
Yeah, I like to. But if I got to like schedule a tournament or I got to talk to coaches, I just I'll print the workout out. So I got workouts on my computer.
There you go. There you go.
So I got workouts on my computer.
Working more efficiently.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And see, where I first came across you at is when you got those stripes on. As an official.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
was it a good time or was it a bad time?
It actually was a good. It was a good time. It was funny for me because see, in that role, I was on the clock, keeping the score. And one thing I noticed about you, you always dealt with. You were fair with everybody.
Right.
You'd give all of them the equal amount of stroke. But whenever it was time to check them, you'd always check them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on that.
No, but you know what? I think it was necessary though. But let me ask you this: have you now that you both officiate and you coach, do you have more appreciation for the officials and what they have to deal with?
Absolutely. And I understand. And so that's why when I talk to officials now, I go, I'm in your shoes. I've been in your shoes.
Right.
I'm looking at the exact same things you look like. Like there's no bias. Like I don't want a certain call for my team because I was an official. Right. I just want you to be fair. But this is what I see. But sometimes they don't agree with you.
Right.
Oh, coach, I got It's like I'm not coming at you that way. I'm just saying this is what they doing down here, and y'all calling this over there. So all I'm saying is let's just meet somewhere in the middle to where it's a good flow.
Yeah, you go.
And the calls are going the same way.
Yeah,
that's
it. Now we know how to coach. We know how to coach our team.
That's it. So I mean, I can always adjust to you guys, but sometimes you got to adjust to the players because you got some that can be real aggressive, but I understand that if they're handshaking continuously, that's a call you need to make. But if I'm just maybe making a little contact, you can't just call a block. But then we come down here, we get bumped and nothing.
Yeah.
Which
way we gonna do this thing?
That's what I'm saying. That's it.
Man, what age group of kids would you think the fans get the rowdies? The younger or the older?
The youngest. It makes absolutely no sense. And I look around and I'm go, these kids are like 2nd and 3rd grade.
And they ain't tripping?
They don't even know how to play yet. And y'all in here losing y'all minds and they really want to have fun.
Right.
But 2nd and 3rd grade's out of control. Like they gonna run each other over. So
that's gonna happen.
But it's not our fault.
No.
As a ref, I'm gonna blow the whistle. So you gonna get how are we gonna get somebody hurt?
I love that line, because I've always wondered that. I'm like, okay, so if me and you, if I jumped over your back and completely tackled you, even if he blows the whistle, you still felt that. Like the contact still came. Like what are we talking about?
So how am I going to get somebody hurt? And I caught myself saying that before just because I think it was something that I've heard before. Oh, ref, you're going to get somebody hurt. Well, yeah, if you don't blow the whistle. But if you blow the whistle, somebody could still get hurt.
That's right.
So, but if you're not blowing the whistle at all, and there's a team that's overly aggressive, and your team is playing the right way, and they get hurt, then that's on the official because you didn't stop it before it happened.
Yeah.
You didn't get those 3 quick fouls.
And that's setting the tone. A couple weeks ago, I'm site supervising at a tournament out here, and listen, you know, we had one ref making calls, the other one was absolutely not making calls, and it was definitely toward the end of the day. So you knew where you know, they were ready to be done. I knew it, but this team was getting overly aggressive, and you could just tell it's about to get smoky, and it did. You know what I mean? And that was, I think, an instance where it was like, yeah, you brought that along, buddy, 'cause you didn't set that tone.
You're right. As an official, you don't want to be too involved in the game, but if you know that there's 2 good teams, all right, and then there's one team that loves the hand check, and you let the hand check go, but the other team plays the right way and they hand check, you call it. Now it's one-sided.
Yeah.
So how about you call the hand check over here, call the hand check over here. Now we even. Now they know you're going to call the hand check, so they're not going to hand check.
Right. And if they do, tweak, keep hitting that whistle.
And it's not my fault that I told you 2 hands automatic, too many, too long. And if you didn't get that when I explained it to you the first time, you'll get it when you go sit down on the bench because now I got to call the foul.
That's right. That's right. I always tell my players, I like how you you held the officials accountable, but you were objective. But I always tell my players, hey, listen, you've never seen an official overturn a call just because you made a stanky face at them. You know what I mean? So it's our job, y'all's job really, to adjust to them.
That's correct.
Not the other way around.
That's correct.
Because I can't sit them down, but I can sit you down.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter.
Never leave the game in the hands of an official.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Control what you can control. Make your layups, make your free throws, rebound the basketball, hit open shots, don't turn the ball over. If you do those 5 things, and that's not even all of it, but if you do those 5 things, most likely the game will go in your favor.
And 4 of those you got control over. The only one that's a question mark is whether or not you make shots. 'Cause that can come and go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those other 4 you can do.
Right.
Free throws, layups, turnovers, rebounds, you got that. You got that. All right, now we're going to shift gears to the family side of it, man. I saw a post maybe a couple of months ago. I think it may have been on you and your wife's anniversary, or maybe it was her birthday, something to that effect. And you had shared how long y'all been rocking. And I thought that was a beautiful story, man. How far back do you and your wife go?
All right, so I better get this right because if my wife watches this and I get it wrong, I'm be in trouble.
Listen, we can edit too, you know what I'm saying?
So let's see. Okay, she was in the 7th grade, I was in the 8th grade.
Okay.
We met it was a musical. Her brother played the drums for our church.
Right.
So this light skinned girl comes in. I think she had like this flower dress on or something. 3 of my friends wrote it. You know, I used to write notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we wrote notes.
Make sure that note get in the right hands.
Wrote the 3 names. She circled the name she likes, sent it back to us.
Gave her a multiple choice question, bro. That's legendary.
Just circle the name that you like. So, man, let's see. This is 2021. So July 14th, we'll be married 14 years, but since the 8th grade. So however long that is.
Man.
So 20 plus years, probably.
That's man.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do the math. I think
forget that. But you gave me a nice little point of reference, man. How have y'all grown together, dog? And because y'all basically grew up with each other from preteens to teens to early 20s. Now both of y'all in the middle of your 30s, and you're bearing some fruit now. You got the children. How's that ride been between y'all two?
Keeping God first is the key factor in our relationship. I mean, to keep it 100. Because I am a work in progress.
Right.
And I was certainly a hellion. And my wife really, she's one of the strongest women I know outside of my mama.
Right.
But she has dealt with a lot with me. I tell you, man,
he said you
I just
hard
look
to deal
like
with.
this. Yeah, I was hard to deal with. I was hard to deal with, man. And she saw something in me. It was just like, nah, we're gonna make this thing work. You know what I mean? So, she's been there from junior college. Like, she was at Rose State. So, yeah, she was at Rose State with me. So she's been supporting me since Rose State. So, if you find somebody to support you in junior college, and you able to stay with them when I went to Montana,
Ooh wee. She didn't
She
make
was
that trip.
here. She did. She came up. She came
Okay.
up a couple times.
I got you.
So, but she was a UC. I was at Montana State.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So if you can work through that and then get married at a young age, 20. I think she was 22. I was 23, and then have a kid like a year later. That's just everything is just moving real fast.
Right.
So man, man, it's a God blessing, man, that we still together to this day.
I love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
With you doing so much as it pertains to basketball, we say basketball because that's what we do, but it's really the kid business.
Right.
Man, have you found a balance between work and family? Because what we do requires a lot of time, effort, and attention, but so does your family, I would imagine.
They always travel wherever I go.
Bingo. I love it, man.
My family, when I'm in the gym, my family's in the gym.
Yeah.
And it's been that way since we started this basketball thing. So we always together. Like all of our anniversaries have been on basketball trips, like AU Nationals.
Yeah.
We've twice AU Nationals. Our anniversary has been taking place, and so we've been gone. But we've been together though.
Gone
Never
but
been
together.
separate. Yeah.
I love it. Been able to step. All right, we done for the day. All right, we about to go
Yeah.
on and slide out here.
Yeah.
Put our good clothes on. Let's do our thing.
That's it.
That's super dope, man. God, I got two more things I want to throw at
Okay,
you, man.
please.
I'll turn you loose, dog, because
Oh, good.
I've enjoyed this one, man. But hobbies.
Okay.
Outside of sports, what can I find Jerron Jefferson doing that ain't got nothing to do
Oh
with basketball?
man, a hobby.
Yeah, man.
I like to bowl.
Oh, okay. Me too.
I like to bowl.
Yeah.
I like to fish, but I haven't been fishing in a while because it's just a crazy schedule. But I like to bowl. Like me and my son, we'll go to I think it's Planet Bowl
Yeah.
over there, Mill City. And so they have the Cosmo Bowl or whatever it's called from 9 to 11.
Yeah.
And they let you bowl for 2 hours. And so I like to bowl. So other than that, I don't think I have any hobbies other than bowling. To really be honest with you, I'm trying to think like what is that? Basketball is just taking. I wouldn't have it any other way, but basketball really is my hobby. But
Yeah.
you said outside of
No,
basketball.
I
don't-
feel it. But listen,
I don't-
I catch myself doing that too. If I'm just chilling, going through the channels, if I see something basketball related, well, guess where the remote's going?
Yeah.
We got to do that,
Yeah.
man. But that's my learning tree too.
I tried laying floors, doing like stuff around the house. Like
Right.
I did okay,
Yeah.
but it didn't come out the way I need to hire somebody.
Yeah.
So I tried to do like stuff around the house
Right.
for like hobbies. It's just not working out.
He said, I realized where my bread is buttered. Well, here's how we're going to wrap it up. We're going to
Yeah.
circle back to basketball.
Okay.
Anywhere in your athletic journey, as a player and as a coach, if you can go back to one game where y'all lost and you believe now, just like you believed back then, that you ain't had no business losing that game, and you'll go back and run it back right now if you could.
In high school? You said high school?
Well, at any level, as
Any
you were
level?
a player, well, high school, college,
Player.
or pro, but I need that from playing years and coaching years.
Golly. I would say when we played Montana University to get to the NCAA tournament, I shot terrible in that game. I was like 5 for 18. Yeah.
Were you taking good shots at least?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but the NBA line was. We played at the old Port. I don't know if it's the old Portland Trailblazers arena, but that 3-point line was very enticing. So I was sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make it.
I'm pulling it.
And I kept shooting it.
Clank.
So if I could go back to that game, I'll redo that game again. Just attack the basket more.
Yeah.
Get to the foul line. I wasn't a great foul shooter, but yeah, if I could go back to that one, coaching. Oh man. Oh, what game? The state championship game.
Against Owasso?
Yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
Now, was that 2017 or 18?
I think it was 20. I'm pretty sure it was 2018. I can go look on the trophy app. It's in the case. I'm pretty sure it's 2018.
Man, what was your diagnosis, man? What happened to y'all on that one?
Well,
And by the way, I remember that Owasso team because they were knocking on the door for a few years.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
They
Leading
had
up to
Shake
that.
Milton's sister. And Shake Milton was in the playoffs
That's
doing
right.
his thing.
That's right.
So, man, we just, some of our top scorers just didn't get going the first half. When your top players don't get to doing what they're supposed to do initially, it's hard to dig out the hole. And if their star players is taking care of their business, and now it's kind of hard to balance that out. You know what I mean? And a couple calls here and there against us. I'm not gonna say the official. I remember his exact name and what he looked like to this day.
He didn't
Called
do
a
y'all no
bogus
favor.
call on this side of the floor. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he see this, he gonna know who he is.
Yeah, he got. I'm not gonna say his name, but everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows who he is.
I love it.
Everybody knows who he is.
Well, Coach Jefferson, brother, I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you, man.
Yes.
This is really the first conversation I can remember having with you, and it's been a dang good one, man. So I want to wish you success on your
Thank
first
you.
season as a head coach over
Yes,
here.
sir.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to be rooting and watching.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
My man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.